Hello, welcome to Bagre TV. If you are new here, please subscribe and turn on the notification so you don't miss our next video. Biography of Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was born to the family of Gadia Henry Mfakanyisa and his wife Nosekeni Fanny, who was the third of 4 wives. Mandela was born on July 18, 1918 into a royal family of the Xhosa-speaking Thembu tribe in the South African village of Mvezo. Chief Gadia had a total of 9 daughters and 4 wives. Gadia died when Mandela was 9 years old and was adopted by Jogintaba Dalindyebo, a high-ranking Thembu regent who began grooming his young ward for a role within the tribal leadership. Mandela, whose birth name was Rolihlahla, was the first to receive formal education in the family. He completed his primary education at a local missionary school. It was at the missionary school that Mandela was given an English name, Nelson, by a teacher. It was a common practice in the school. His secondary education was at the Clebury Boarding Institute and Helton, a secondary school owned by the Methodists. In secondary school, he was on top in boxing and tracks as well as academics. Mandela got admission into the University of Fort Hare, the only Western-style learning institute for South Africans at that time. He started his university education in 1939. There was a little crisis in 1940 where Mandela and his friends boycotted the university policies and they were sent home. He learned that his foster father arranged a wife for him and he fled to Johannesburg where he started working. Later on, he got a job as a clerk and he completed his degree by correspondence. His law degree at Witwatersrand spurred him to become a human rights activist and he fought against racial discrimination. In 1944, he joined politics and became a member of African National Congress (ANC) and worked with Oliver Tambo to establish the Youth League, the ANCYL. It was in this period that he met and married his wife, Evelyn Ntokumase, with whom he had 4 children before their divorce in 1957. Nelson's affair with the ANC grew stronger in 1948 election victory of the Afrikaner-dominated National Party, which introduced a formal system of racial classification and segregation apartheid that restricted non-whites' basic rights. In 1949, ANC decided to employ a radical approach in achieving full citizenship for all South Africans through strikes, boycotts, and civil disobedience. This they planned to achieve peacefully. In 1952, Mandela and Tambo opened South Africa's first black law firm, which provided free services for those that were affected by the apartheid system. On December 5, 1956, Mandela and friends were arrested and went on trial for treason. They were acquitted in 1961, but at that time, there was crisis in ANC as a militant faction came up and is split to form the Pan-Africanist Congress (PAC). The following year, police opened fire on a group of peaceful black protesters in Sharpeville and killed 69. The apartheid government banned both ANC and PAC following the people's violent reaction in the protests. Angered Mandela decided it was time to be radical since being peaceful was not working, and he formed a group, Umkhonto weSizwe, Spear of the Nation. It was a wing of ANC. It was the activities of this wing that got him into jail 3 years after. In 1962, Mandela traveled abroad to attend a conference of African nationalist leaders in Ethiopia and visited his exiled friend Tambo in London and undergone a guerrilla training in Nigeria. After his return, on August 5th, he was arrested and sentenced to 5 years in prison for leaving the country and inciting workers' strike. In 1961, Mandela spent the first 18 years of his 27-year sentence in Robben Island prison, where he was confined to a small room without a bed and compelled to do hard labor in a lime quarry. He was only allowed to his wife, Winnie Mandela, the mother of his 2 daughters, once in every 6 months. They got married in 1958. In that prison, Mandela and inmates were dealt with. In 1982, he was moved to Portsmouth Prison on the mainland, and in 1988, he was placed under home arrest, while in 1989, the newly elected president, F.W. de Klerk, lifted the ban on ANC and called for a non-racist South Africa. On February 11, 1990, he ordered Mandela's release. Despite the political turbulence in South Africa, Mandela and de Klerk were given Nobel Peace Prize for their roles in building a non-racial South Africa. On April 26, 1994, South Africans chose ANC to lead the country, and Nelson Mandela became the first black president of South Africa. He tried to build South Africa for all races through his humanitarian policies. On his 80th birthday, after finalizing divorce with Winnie Mandela, he married the humanitarian Graca Machel, widow of former president of Mozambique. In 2009, United Nations declared July 18th Nelson Mandela's Day in recognition of his struggles not just for South Africans but Africans. He died on December 5th, 2013 from a recurring lung infection. Do you agree that Mandela is the greatest freedom fighter Africa has ever had? We would love to read your comments. Will it be ridiculous to subscribe to our channel? If no, please like this video, share and subscribe to our channel.